this year?
There are teams that are soccer powerhouses like Brazil, like Argentina, like Germany, France, Spain in Europe. They're always at or near the top. But then there are teams that are constant outperformers, even though they shouldn't be as good as they really are, and one of them is the Netherlands. For being a small country, they have been in 3 World Cup finals already, and that really speaks for the culture and the process they have in place in developing talent.
Well, you went to the Netherlands, so let's just get to that. You're predicting them to be the winner this year.
Yeah, I think I seem to have a death wish. After getting it right 3 times in a row, I picked a team that is considered to be not amongst the favorites this time around. I think they have a team that doesn't have real stars, like Messi for Argentina, but they have a team that is very, very level in the performance of every one of the players in the team. So there's no real weak spot. The second thing is they have a really good defense. And in soccer, more so than in most other sports, the saying that offense wins matches, defense wins tournaments.
A black swan team that might just come out of nowhere and break this all.
I would say there is one dark horse, and that is Japan, because the model predicted that Brazil would meet Japan in the round of 32 and lose against Japan. Now that sounds crazy, yet last year, and that's exactly what happened in a test match.
So just to cap this all off, you've said the Netherlands for this year. What if you're wrong?
Then I'll do it again in 4 years' time and have a million excuses. After all, I'm a professional economist. We're used to finding reasons why the forecasts we made in the past didn't come true today.
So the next test says economics. Yes, good old economics. His model predicts using GDP per capita, population, temperature, FIFA ranking, the home country, the whole bloody lot. All of this is considered. Joachim Klement thinks England, Portugal, Spain and the Netherlands will advance the semis. Netherlands will defeat Portugal for the World Cup. Joachim is with me. Sir, it helped you correctly predict 3 winners so far. Why are you confident this time it's going to work?
Well, to be perfectly honest, this all started 12 years ago as a bit of a joke, as you might imagine, as an exercise in showing to the world that economists think they can predict absolutely everything, even if they have no clue. And then the worst thing happened. I got it right 3 times with that model that you just kind of sketched out. So,
as you look at the model, what is it? I'm just calling it up now. Let's have a look at the various criteria. What is it about those various bits? So, for example, GDP, population, temperature, blah, blah, blah. Which is the one that's crucial and what is it about them?
Well, in a sense, they're all crucial. Obviously, the most important one is the recent form as reflected in the FIFA World Ranking. But in general, these economic variables like GDP and population, and in particular, population is important because if you have more people in a country, you automatically have a bigger talent pool, and that gives a country the opportunity to develop more world-class players. But to do that, you also need the money. And that's why in very poor countries, you might have a lot of talent, but not enough infrastructure to find them, develop them, and kind of turn them into world-class players. And that's a problem particularly for African countries.
Right, but if we take a look at the predictions for the semi-finals and the finals that you've just done, those are all wealthy countries that would, or most of them are, that would score highly on your and I get your logic. So when you get to discussing between Netherlands and Portugal, what tips it for Netherlands?
Well, any economic model can only approximate the outcome of any given match. In fact, it's only about 50% that the model can actually forecast. The other 50% are, quite frankly, luck, or kind of like the form on the day of the match. And what I do in the model is I add a component of luck to each team to simulate the form on the day. And the closer 2 teams are in quality, like the Netherlands and Portugal in the final, for example, there's very little qualitative difference between those two teams. They're both excellent. So even a little bit of a lucky day for the Netherlands tips it in favor of the Netherlands. A lucky day in favor of Portugal would tip it in favor of Portugal. And so that's kind of how every match is decided. And then you go through the tournament. And it, as I said, it just turns out that I seem to have been lucky 3 times in a row, and hopefully, at least when it comes to my neighbors in the Netherlands, a 4th time in a couple of weeks' time.
All right. Do you think he is going to be correct this time around? In 2014, he was able to predict Germany as a winner, and it happened. In 2018, he was able to predict France, and it happened as he did. In 2022, he predicted Argentina. This time around, he is saying it's the Netherlands. Do you agree with him, football fans? Do you agree with him? I think there are better countries. But let's go and check out as we go on with the FIFA World Cup. Let's see whether his prediction is going to work this time around for the 4th time. See you.